It's 6 o'clock. It's just, it's just past 6 o'clock actually. It's Saturday, the 2nd of November, and welcome to our weekly news programme coming to you live from the heart of Wyke, Regis. And in the news this week, Dorset Council's Highways team is on standby to ensure our key routes remain safe and passable when temperatures drop this winter. Just under 100 members of the council's regular highways team are ready day and night to keep vital roads open. The depots have been restocked with rock salt and 25 new vehicles are in place to enhance the winter preparations. Dorset's gritting operations cover 684 miles of roads, forming 23 main gritting routes. These roads are treated when surface temperatures are expected to drop below half of 1 degree Celsius. Additionally, community routes serving smaller villages and hamlets will be treated during prolonged periods of freezing temperatures to ensure rural communities can continue to travel. As the gritting crews comprise Dorset Council employees who carry out other highways maintenance roles, there may be times when more crews are needed for gritting. This may delay other regular highways work taking place. The highways team are asking at this time of year that we drive with care on freshly gritted roads. The salt, or the grit as it's known, needs to be dissolved into a solution to work. When they're gritted, it needs vehicles to travel on it to activate it. If you travel early in the morning or are the first to drive on a gritted road, therefore you need to drive with care because it's not doing its job yet. Even on treated roads, it cannot be guaranteed there will be no ice. Additionally, rain can wash salt off the road, as can water runoff from fields. Please take care, reduce speed and keep a safe distance from the next vehicle. Remember, even if the gritters have been out, roads can still be slippery. Now, last winter, the winter of 2023-24, saw the gritting crews called into action on 39 occasions between the 1st of November and the 1st of April. The busiest month for gritter drivers was January, when they were called out on 19 days and laid 1,648 tonnes of salt. As we said, Dorset Council has invested in 25 new vehicles over the past year to enhance the winter preparation. These vehicles are more efficient with modern engines that have increased fuel economy. So they are ready to look after us this winter time. And it remains to be seen how much freezing weather we get this winter. Now, the Environment Agency has issued the following advice regarding what and what not to burn on bonfire night. Only dry, untreated and unpainted wood, along with small amounts of paper or cardboard, should be used for bonfires. Burning household waste can cause pollution and harm to people, wildlife and the environment. And burning the wrong kind of waste could lead you liable to a fine of up to £50,000. For people intending to celebrate bonfire night this year, the Environment Agency is urging them to go to an organised event rather than risk burning a hole in their pockets. As well as the safety risk caused by bonfires, they have an impact on the climate, and if wrong materials are burned, can harm wildlife, the environment and, of course, human health. The only materials that should be used in bonfires are dry, untreated and unpainted wood, along with small amounts of paper or cardboard. Using wet wood creates smoke which can spread and cause a nuisance to neighbours, and bonfires can quickly get out of control if not properly managed. Those still planning to have a bonfire at home this bonfire night or surrounding it are advised not to use it to dispose of household waste such as plastics, rubbers, glass, oils or metals. These materials could cause a pollution risk to water and harm human health. It could also damage the air, soil, plants, animals or the countryside, and should be disposed of through recycling or household waste collections or at the council recycling centres. Always check for hedgehogs and other wildlife which may have crawled inside your bonfire, as finding it a nice place to set up home. So make sure we check those bonfires before we set fire to them, and don't allow anyone else to add materials to your bonfire other than clean, dry, untreated wood. And a little bit from me, don't try and use petrol to get your fires going quickly, because that can be very dangerous. Ben Shaler of the Environment Agency said we want people to have fun on bonfire night, but to do so safely and in a way that won't create a risk to the environment, wildlife and to you and your neighbours. The best way of doing that is to stop burning waste altogether and to go to a properly organised community event where organisers hopefully should have followed the guidance and won't be causing a hazard. And towards the end of this bulletin, we will give you details of those local events that are coming up across the Weymouth and Portland and surrounding area, so you know where you can go. Now, on Monday the 28th of October, a positive tree planting ceremony took place at County Hall in celebration of Dorset's care leavers. The ceremony was led by the Chair of Dorset Council, Councillor Stella Jones, and attended by Dorset Council's elected members, employees and care-experienced young people. The tree planting ceremony marks 20 years of the National Leaving Care Benchmarking Forum and aims to demonstrate the Council's commitment to seeing care-experienced young people grow and thrive, and the Council growing their local offer to care-experienced young people. A magnolia tree was chosen by Dorset care leavers as their tree of choice. In some cultures, this tree is known to symbolise luck and stability, and it is one of the first trees to bloom in early spring, which some see as a symbol of new beginnings. Councillor Stella Jones said the tree has been planted to mark the 20th anniversary of the National Leaving Care Benchmarking Forum and to show and grow our local offer to our care leavers. We are proud to be part of this forum, who are working with care-experienced young people to inspire and develop the best possible services and support. The tree symbolises our aspirations for our care-experienced young people and our determination to help them to grow and thrive in their own time and at their own pace. We hope, like this tree, that they will reach new heights and that each and every one of them blooms in their own and unique way. A magnolia tree, what a lovely thing to do there. Now, Weymouth Town Council are asking, do you know a local charity that could benefit from the Jubilee Clock light-up scheme? If so, Weymouth Town Council would love to hear from you. In 2025, the Town Council will be lighting up Weymouth's iconic Jubilee Clock to raise awareness for good causes with the colours that best represent the chosen charities. One charity can be represented each month, with the clock being lit up for 3 days during that month. In 2024, the clock face has been illuminated on several occasions in support of charities and awareness days nominated by the public, from Weymouth Samaritans to the Noth Fort, the Repair Cafe to MV Freedom. And the clock was also turned red, white and blue in June to honour the D-Day 80 commemorations. Plus, still to come, there is the Royal British Legion in November and the Salvation Army in December. Residents can nominate any local charity or organisation that benefits Weymouth and its different communities. Nominations must be received by midday on Monday the 11th of November, and a full list of nominations will then be considered before being published in December. So if you pop along to the Weymouth Town Council website, I'm sure you will find a link there to get to that nomination form. Now, millions of people will enjoy better bus services as the government invests over £1 billion to protect vital bus routes and continues the cap on bus fares, particularly in rural communities and towns where there is a heavy reliance on buses. Prime Minister Keir Starmer confirmed on Monday that bus travel will be kept down at £3 for an additional year, saving up to 80% on some routes. You'll remember it's £2 up until March next year. Under the inherited plans, funding for the current cap on bus fares had been due to expire at the end of 2024. The government's announcement will ensure fares remain affordable from the 1st of January onwards and prevent a financial cliff edge for bus operators that would have seen vital services put at risk across the country. The cap means no single bus fare on routes included in the scheme will exceed £3, and routes where fares are less than £3 will only be allowed to increase by inflation in the normal way. Local authorities and metro mayors can also fund their own schemes to keep fares down. The cap is being funded by £151 million from government until the end of 2025. It comes as the Department of Transport confirms an additional £925 million for the 2025-26 financial year to improve bus services across the country, bringing total bus investment in the budget to over £1 billion. Local authorities can use the £925 million to introduce new bus routes, make services more frequent and to protect crucial bus routes for local communities. The move comes ahead of the new buses bill to be introduced later this parliamentary session, which will help bring an end to the current postcode lottery of bus services by empowering local authorities to deliver modern and integrated bus networks and put passengers at the heart of local decision making. The bill will also mean local transport authorities can emulate the huge success of publicly controlled buses in Greater Manchester and London. Greater Manchester's successful B network has already seen passenger numbers grow by 5% since public control began to be rolled out just over a year ago. Buses remain the most used form of public transport across the country, but after almost 4 decades of failed deregulation, thousands of vital services have been slashed, with passengers left frustrated at the lack of accountability. And of course, in the Weymouth and Portland area, we've seen lots of local services, bus routes disappear. So maybe we will also benefit from this new investment. Now, officers from Dorset Police are appealing for witnesses or anyone with information to come forward as they investigate an incident where 2 men were assaulted in Weymouth Town Centre. It was reported that around 4 a.m. on Sunday the 27th of October, 2 men aged in their 20s were involved in an altercation with a group of up to 8 people in Western Road. One of the victims sustained a fractured jaw and the other man sustained a cut lip, laceration on his ear and swelling to his forehead. One of the offenders is described as white, 6 feet 2 inches tall and of slender build with short brown hair. Another member of the group is described as white, 5 feet 10 inches tall and of slim build. Detective Constable Megan Matthews of Dorset County CID said, "We are continuing to investigate these assaults and I would urge any witnesses or anyone with information to please contact us." Also, officers from Dorset Police are appealing for witnesses or relevant CCTV or dashcam footage to come forward as they investigate thefts from motor vehicles in Weymouth. Dorset Police received a report shortly after 12 a.m. on Tuesday the 29th of October, a man and a woman breaking into cars in Greenway Road in the Redlands area. It is believed access was gained to 3 vehicles before the suspects were disturbed and they made off in the direction of Greenway Close. Inquiries are ongoing to confirm what was stolen from inside the vehicles. The man involved is described as around 5 feet 8 inches tall and of slim build. He was wearing dark clothing and a bag around his waist. The woman is described as 5 feet 8 inches tall and of larger build. She was wearing a black coat with a hood up and pink and beige tiger print leggings. She also had a bag around her waist. Anyone with any information on either of these incidents or any dash cam or CCTV footage or doorbell footage are asked to contact Dorset Police on 101, or if they wish to give information anonymously via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, starting in mid-January, significant safety improvements will be made at the Maunbury Cross junction in Dorchester. Maunbury Cross is a busy 4-way junction used by many people, including students, parents and carers with children, residents of nearby care homes and bus users, as well as visitors to Dorchester Hospital, Market, Leisure Centre and Skate Park. It's that junction just as you go over the bridge, the railway bridge, into the Weymouth end of Dorchester. Coupled with approximately 15,000 vehicles passing through daily, it can be a daunting pedestrian experience, especially for those with limited mobility or vision impairments. The works include incorporating more signal-controlled pedestrian crossing points into the junction on the south of the skate park side, widening of footways and upgrading existing equipment. This will provide a safer and more pleasant experience for people waiting to cross. The current layout consists of narrow footways with little space to pass or wait to cross. There is currently only one controlled crossing point, and this can make it particularly challenging during rush hours when people are commuting to work or school by foot, bike or car. Now, work will include a new layout and upgrade of the existing signalling equipment, and it will also include new controlled pedestrian crossing points on Maunbury Road Eastern Arm, Maunbury Road Western Arm and on Weymouth Avenue Northern Arm, widening and levelling of footways where possible to improve the pedestrian environment, a new section of cycleway and an advanced stop line on the uphill section of Maunbury Road to help cyclists through the junction, relocating of the existing crossing point on the railway bridge and replacing with a new puffing crossing closer to Queen's Avenue. This will provide more footway space for people waiting to cross the road and will be closer to the main route when students walk to and from school. Now, to enable the new crossing location, the northbound bus stop will be moved to the south side of Queen's Avenue Junction with Weymouth Avenue. The work will start in mid-January and will be completed in the spring. Further details will be published nearer the time, and signs will be erected to warn pedestrians and drivers in advance of those works. Dorset Museum and Art Gallery has announced the return of its highly anticipated second-hand book fair, taking place on Saturday the 23rd of November from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the museum's Victorian Hall. This event is a must-visit for book lovers, collectors and bargain hunters alike. Alongside the museum's bookstand, other stallholders have been invited, including the Hardy Society and Nangle Books. Thousands of high-quality books will be available at unbeatable prices, offering a fantastic opportunity to explore a vast range of literary treasures just in time for Christmas. Entry to the fair is completely free, and everyone is welcome to attend. To support the museum's sustainability efforts, visitors are kindly asked to bring their own bags, as the supply of plastic bags will be limited. All proceeds from the Dorset Museum and Art Gallery stands will directly support the ongoing upkeep of the museum and its extensive collections, helping to preserve the rich cultural heritage of Dorset for future generations. Now, in preparation for the book fair, the museum is also calling for donations of good quality second-hand books. Donations can be dropped off at the museum until Monday the 18th of November. Each contribution is greatly appreciated and will help ensure the continued success of this popular event. Visitors to the book fair are encouraged to explore the museum's gift shop, which will be stocked with the variety of Christmas gifts and seasonal items. It will be the perfect opportunity to pick up a unique holiday present or an early Christmas present while supporting the museum. There we go. That's in November. We'll remind you of that again nearer the time. Now, award-winning Dutch violinist Tim Clippius and his trio celebrate 18 years of touring with their new programme Pictures at an Exhibition, where gypsy jazz and neo-classic meet, together with Nigel Clark on guitar and Roy Percy double bass. The Tim Clippius trio combine jaw-dropping virtuosity and the mesmerising improv with the beautifully varied repertoire sourced from classical music, gypsy jazz and folk. In celebration of the 150th anniversary of Modest Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition, the Tim Clippius Trio presents a brand new programme showcasing the daring innovations of Mussorgsky's music through a unique and exciting lens. Original movements and more are reinvented, and taking the lead, Tim Clippius has composed new musical representations of several famous paintings. Music associated with Django Reinhardt will form the second half of this special concert, including pieces by Hoagy Carmichael and Tim Clippius himself. And that is on Tuesday the 12th of November, 7:30 at Piddle Trentide, and Wednesday the 13th of November, 7:30 at Winfrith Church. Tickets and more details available through ArtsReach on their website, artsreach.co.uk. Now, we have mentioned this before, but just as we are coming up towards Remembrance Sunday, service personnel and veterans will be eligible for free travel on South Western Railway services to attend Remembrance Sunday events. The offer is available to anyone travelling in uniform or able to show an appropriate form of identification. Free travel will also be available for volunteers attending the London Poppy Day events on Thursday the 31st of October. South Western Railway is once again offering service military personnel and veterans attending any local Remembrance Sunday events on Sunday the 10th of November the opportunity to travel for free on all its services. This includes travel to Waterloo for the National Service of Remembrance at the Cenotaph on either Saturday the 9th or Sunday the 10th of November, returning on Sunday the 10th of November. The Submariners Remembrance Service on Sunday the 3rd of November is also included in the offer. That's obviously tomorrow, with travel to Waterloo allowed either today or tomorrow, Sunday the 3rd of November, and return journey on Sunday the 3rd of November. The offer of free travel, which is funded by the Department of Transport, is available to anyone who is travelling in uniform or able to show an appropriate form of identification and is applicable throughout Great Britain. There we go. And finally, in the headlines tonight, it's bonfire night this week, on Tuesday, I think it is. And as we reported earlier, people are being encouraged to go to organised events. So where can you see fireworks and go to organised events this bonfire night or around this bonfire night? Well, there's 2 events on tonight. So if you want to kite tonight, as soon as we're finished, get your coat on, get in the car and shoot off. So firstly, Portland firework display. Is it Southwest Markets and Events at the Market Ground Eastern Lane? That's tonight. There isn't actually a start time. They haven't given us a start time, but I imagine it's probably starting now. And most of the fun happening probably 7 o'clock or round about that. The entry is free, but there's a £1 parking fee. Also tonight, Upway Fireworks. Upway's annual fireworks and bonfire display will be returned to its new location at West Farm on Binkham Road tonight. Previously held at Westbrook Barn, but this time it's at West Farm on Binkham Road. Organised by the Upway Society, the fire will be lit at 6 p.m. and fireworks at 6:45. So the fire's already underway, but maybe if you're in that area, if you pop along, you'll get there just in time for the fireworks, or you can look out if you're in that area and watch them. Then on Tuesday, the Weymouth Beach Guy Fawkes Night. The free event will return on Tuesday, November the 5th, with thousands of visitors expected to flock to the beach for a firework and bonfire display. The fireworks will be launched at 8 p.m, with the beach bonfire lit up at 7:40. So that's on Weymouth Beach on Tuesday. Bonfire lit at 7:40 and fireworks at 8 p.m. And also on Tuesday, there will be a low noise and silent firework display at the Pulpit Inn at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. The venue will host the display and the entry will be completely free. Also on Tuesday, Dorchester Rugby Club will be having their firework display. Gates open at 6 p.m. That's at the Rugby Club in Dorchester, and fireworks at 7:30 p.m. So there we go. That's a choice of events if you want to go to an organised firework display this year. And that's the end of the headlines in our news tonight. It's now time in the programme to go over to our regular contributor Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, Despicable Me 4 was released on home video. The film is the 6th installment of the Despicable Me franchise and stars Steve Carell as Gru, a former supervillain who is forced to move his family into a safe house when his old rival seeks revenge. The film also stars Kristen Wiig, Pierre Coffin, Joey King and Will Ferrell. So, I saw the film in cinemas back in July. I thought it was really enjoyable, but overstuffed. It honestly could have been a TV show, but there was something about how the film ends. I guess we're still technically within like the spoiler window. Oh, so I won't spoil it, but I feel like the ending kind of is a wrap-up of the Despicable Me films. I don't know if they're going to do any more. I know they're going to do another Minions film, but they're prequels, so I don't know if we're going to get another Despicable Me film. Might be nice, but, you know. Considering I rated the first one 5 stars. But no, I gave Despicable Me 4 3 stars out of 5 when I saw it back in the cinema. I rewatched it. I enjoyed it more, but it's just, you know, doesn't really change the problems. It's just more sort of enjoying it more. Also released on home video this week is a film I was very excited about. Late Night with the Devil. The film is a found footage like documentary supernatural horror film starring David Dastmalchian as a 70s late night talk show host who attempts to boost ratings on Halloween night 1977 by inviting an allegedly possessed girl onto his show, during which strange things start happening. So I watched this film sort of ages ago, back in like May or whatever. So I was actually really excited for this the home video release, because So, originally, I went into this film not having any expectations. I knew it had good reviews, and whatnot, but it's like, but you know that, and it's an independent film, and I'm not really an independent film sort of person. But I was absolutely blown away. Das Malchin gives a fantastic performance, the best performance of his I've ever seen. And it's a really spooky film with a great aesthetic and vibe, and I just really love how off kilter the last 10 minutes of the film make you feel. I can't rave about it enough. The only bad thing about the film, like, this film would be a 5-star film, but I kind of had to take points away from it because there's a bit of unnecessary gore, like a creature effect in the film. I felt that was completely unnecessary, and sort of it toys with believability in the way that the Paranormal Activity films did, and I don't really like the Paranormal Activity films. So, but yeah, it sort of toys with believability in that sort of way, where it's just sort of like they're talking about it like it's a real thing, but because of the way it's set up like it's from a camera's perspective, it just feels like, oh yeah, it's just being filmed, and it's not really actually that real. So I gave the film 4.5 stars out of 5. I really loved it, and I know it's past Halloween now, but it's a great spooky Halloween watch. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be previewing Red One, the Dwayne Johnson Christmas action film. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And we'll be back with Andrew next week to hear about Red One. It's now time in the programme to go over to the Met Office for the Saturday evening weather forecast. And this week we're joined by Jonathan Vautry.
Hello there, good evening. Hope you have had a lovely day. Although the main colour on many of our mood boards this weekend is certainly grey. It's quite hard to see the UK from space at the moment. A widespread blanket of cloud covering the vast majority of areas, and this will be staying with us as we head throughout the overnight period. There will be the odd spot of drizzle to just watch out for if you do have any bonfire celebrations, but most of us should manage to stay dry, misty and murky around coastal districts and over the hills as well. But underneath that blanket of cloud, it's going to be holding our temperatures up, so it will be a mild night. Most towns and cities around 10 or 11 degrees Celsius. But you'll notice there for the northeast of Scotland, Aberdeen, certainly chillier here. Underneath the clearer skies that we do have, that will allow temperatures to drop off more so, and some patchy frost is possible for the likes of Aberdeenshire, Moray and Angus as we start off Sunday morning. It is going to be the northeast of Scotland that holds on to the best of the sunshine as well throughout Sunday, despite that chilly start. For much of Northern Ireland, England and Wales, though, it is quite a homogeneous story. Again, grey, dull, gloomy throughout a good portion of the day. Spots of drizzle to watch out for, again, particularly around coastal districts of the Irish Sea. Temperatures will be a degree or so down compared to what we have seen today, many of us between 12 and 14 degrees Celsius, and it will feel quite chilly when you're stuck inside as well due to that lack of sunshine around in places. The high pressure that we've seen this weekend is going to be staying with us into the new working week as well. It will just drift off slightly towards the east and allow more of a southeasterly wind to move its way in. So there could be a slight improvement in brightness levels for the far southeast of England, but also for the likes of Western Wales into Northern Ireland and Western Scotland, potentially on Monday, starting to see a bit more of that sunshine poking through at times. For many others, though, it really is going to be another very grey and drab day, unfortunately. A bit of a breeze across the far southwest, but otherwise winds generally staying light due to that area of high pressure. Temperatures also just continuing their slight downward trends, more of us now around 11 or 12 degrees Celsius. Despite that little trend downwards though, as we head towards the middle part of the week, we are going to see again another slight shift in wind direction. More of a direct southerly, if not a southwesterly, starting to feed its way in from Wednesday onwards, will provide some more milder conditions to move its way in. So temperatures slowly recovering a touch, even a little bit above average by the time we reach the end of the week, but the cloud is likely to remain. We'll have plenty more updates on what to expect over the next few days on our YouTube channel, so do subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much there, Jonathan, for the weekend weather forecast. And looking at the local weather, Quite mild still down here on the south. Very grey, as Jonathan said on the national forecast. And just the distinct possibility of some rain on Thursday. So mainly dry and grey and mild for the week ahead. Now we go to our What's On section. First of all, we'll start with Weymouth Pavilion, and coming up over the next few weeks. 8th of November, Gareth Malone, Sing Along Gareth. 9th of November, Ben Elton, Authentic Stupidity. 13th to the 16th of November, Wow presents Our House, the Madness Musical. 22nd of November, Fast Love, a tribute to George Michael. 24th of November, The Simon and Garfunkel Story. And 28th of November, Rhythm of the Dance Christmas Special. That's just a small selection of shows on at Weymouth Pavilion, and I do mean it is a small selection of what's on. They have a very packed programme running up to Christmas and into the new year. Pop along to their website, weymouthpavilion.com, where you can see all the shows available and you can book tickets online. Looking next at the Knowth Fort, Saturday the 9th of November is their remembrance installation that we've been telling you about for the last few weeks, so do pop along for that. 30th of November to 1st of December, Christmas Elf Extravaganza at the Fort. 7th to the 8th of December, Steampunk Christmas Market at the Fort. And the 14th of December, Victorian Christmas. Pop along to their website for more information, knowthfort.org.uk. On the 24th of November at Portisham, they will be doing, again, their Candles on the Hill. Once again, the Friends of St Nicholas' unique and enigmatic staging of a large Catherine wheel below St Catherine's Chapel will take place. Thanks go to the dedicated team of helpers who braved the weather last year when almost 500 illuminated bags were on display, bearing memories and messages from villagers, visitors and over 300 school children from 5 schools in the area. So that's 24th of November, where they light up St Catherine's Chapel there on the top of the hill outside Portisham and Abbotsbury. Now, you remember we've told you on the night of the 22nd of November 1824, a storm of unprecedented ferocity hit the Dorset coast, flooding many houses, destroying villages in its path and claimed many lives. Now, 200 years on, Dorset Coast Forum, in collaboration with the Environment Agency and Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole Council, are having an exhibition, a touring exhibition, The Great Gale of 1824. The exhibition will feature personal stories and accounts from 1824, delves into reasons behind the storm and discusses how we can predict and prepare for possible similar events. Now, it's out on tour at the moment, but it ends up by coming to Portland. And obviously the village of Chisel on Portland was partly demolished by the hurricane force storm, and 25 lives were lost there. And on the 21st to the 24th of November, daily 11 a.m. to 4 p.m, that's 21st to the 24th of November, at the Portland Community Venue, 3 yards close at Fortuneswell. The exhibition will be there for 4 days. So that gives you an opportunity to go along and learn about that storm of 1824 and what the Environment Agency do today to actually make sure we don't suffer similar things. Now, looking at church services tomorrow, there's an 8 o'clock communion at All Saints Church. 9:30 is the monthly cafe church, family-friendly, more informal worship. And 11 o'clock, a Holy Communion service at St Edmund's Church, Lanehouse. Looking at our other programmes this weekend, we have got for you the October version of A Year Gardening with Clive Gray. Now, it's a little bit late. Clive had some technical difficulties this month and was very grateful for some friends that have helped him out in finishing it off and editing it. So I think it's probably his last one before his winter break. So that will be broadcast tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Sunday at 4 o'clock, and repeated Friday at 7 p.m. So see what Clive has been up to in the garden in October as he prepares for the winter. Maybe gives you some ideas on things that you should be doing in your garden at this time of year. And then, of course, tonight at 7:30 in 50 minutes time, our Saturday evening quiz starting at 7:30. It's free, it's family friendly, and all are welcome to join us for our regular Saturday evening quiz. We start promptly at 7:30. The stream will be live by 7:20, so you can find us, and hopefully the technology will be working fine. We had a bit of a problem a couple of weeks ago, and you can be sitting comfortably ready to start at 7:30. That brings us to the end of this week's Saturday news programme. If you have any news for us, any events coming up, particularly in the run-up to Christmas, we would love to hear from you at news@wykeregis.tv. Do drop us an email and we will be happy to share your events and your news with the people of Wyke Regis, Weymouth Porters, South Dorset and beyond. It just remains for me to say have a really good weekend. If you're going back to school this week, I hope you've had a nice half-term break and you're ready for school this week. Hope the week ahead is good for you all, and I look forward to being back with you 6 o'clock next Saturday. Good night.